Hey guys, once again, so this video I'm gonna explain that I already solved an theory for the Poppy Playtime at chapter 1 for the chapter 3 breaker because I have something strange that I have to explain about it first, and I can also it is something to do with the speech for area doing and another video for Stella Kryber. So it means that we were gonna today react to a both video but not gonna react to it, but we're gonna talk about it and what I first solve it. So cause today is gonna be a big one, so I'm gonna solve. Don't forget to subscribe and like button, comment below. And let's start. So the first thing is we have another first trailer for the Poppy Playtime chapter 3. The speech telling by Elliot Ludwig. He was announcing about the breaker. This is what I was find because first of all we were gonna talk about what he said about the breaker because the breaker it is in area for the first plot in chapter 3, and from there because the another video what I have here is from Stella Kryber from the chapter 1 because from the chapter 1 it has a poster for the chapter 3 is called fostering adoption. It was debuted in chapter 1 and that is why, and some of them VSS tape there's some of them tells about the orphan stuff like that, and from there after starting from chapter 1 to chapter 2 that says that on a site for the wiki phantom that Stella was experimented on a toy called Poppy in the chapter 2 somewhere there, because there is no lab except one there's called on Beach Tech, the one I was making a video from the past days, and because from there that Poppy was telling to us about the breaker from the newest version from the YouTuber named Freetinator, that there's anything about it, and also it says something about for the old version that says like where said things right that someone to use, and the player to defeat the prototype. So it looks like I had a confusing if I don't know if the prototype he is a villain or is a hero. I'm trying to find, and once I find I will let you guys know. I'm gonna make that kind of video, and now we will jump into it. So first things first, we have this first trailer for the chapter 3 that we might react to first, because there's something we need to hear what it says about the breaker here for the chapter 3's first game, because it was something like the train crashes from the chapter 2, because like I said that the Poppy was was experimented in the chapter 2. So we will see what they cut for us.
There is nothing more gratifying to my soul than being the reason for a child's smile.
Okay, so first thing first, we saw Huggy Wuggy. So Huggy Wuggy, he was on the first antagonist for the in chapter 1, and that one I told you about that he was appears in the chapter 1 ending, that we need to run away from him, because this is the point where we have to open the case for Poppy to start a game called the Fly in the Web for the chapter 2, because for the Huggy Wuggy we saw him two kind of him. So we saw him has a toy in a box, we saw him has a statue, we saw him has an he started to move. So he is the first antagonist on chapter 1.
To be the spark that ignites all their hopes and dreams. We owe everything to these children. This company and its toys are nothing without them.
And number 2 is Mommy Longlegs. She is a second antagonist that we already killed her by the Crider. But first of all, start with an Huggy Wuggy. We defeat him by putting a box and he started to fall down, because on the website it says that he was hard to air if he survived, or maybe he pulled himself up or climbed, or the prototype grabbed him, because we saw him in the water treatment and in the chapter 2's gameplay, right before the Mommy Longlegs started to make a game called hide and seek. This is why, because it makes sense, finding him, I don't know. And what I want to say is this, so Mommy Longlegs is an second antagonist of the chapter 2. It means that we killed her by the Crider, and she was killed. I mean, like, she was separated from her upper bodies, and when she said before she dies, here make me part of him, it means that, because looks like that because if this is an Poppy Playtime in chapter 3 teaser trailer, it means that the prototype, he is an living organic toy, and this is why that Huggy Wuggy has an VHS tape for the chapter 3 that he was escaping in the factory, and after because I tried to see how does Mommy Longlegs survive from her death, because it says on Google that she is a living organic nature like Huggy Wuggy. So it means that, because in here there is a chapter 3 teaser trailer that we might see Mommy Longlegs and Huggy Wuggy in the chapter 3 for the play camp, because it means they want an revenge on the player, what the player did to them, because the player puts a box on Huggy Wuggy and started to fall down, and the player kills Mommy Longlegs by the Crider. That he said that, what have you done? It means they will have an revenge. So it means Huggy Wuggy is on the first antagonist for the chapter 3 one, and Mommy Longlegs was on second antagonist, because that makes sense, because Bobby was there after killing Mommy Longlegs. She said, like, did you kill her? Good. It means that because Bobby she wants to use the player to defeat the prototype. Again, I don't know if the prototype is a villain or a hero, because the prototype, he wants to stop making bigger projects in his stuff have completed. that was introduced by Harry Sawyer. It means that because it means that what kind of enemy the prototype has to stop bigger bodies and stuff is only one is Huggy Wuggy, number two Mummy Longlegs, number three is Boxy Boo, and that means they will be appear in an play care just to stop the player try to stop the scientists to complete the bigger bodies in initiative because the bigger bodies it is something to do with an orphan because for the substitutes plot for the play care it tells everything about an orphan, so it means they will be there and they will stop and because last time we heard by Harry Sawyer that the bigger bodies will fail, so we don't know what will happen. Maybe it will happen on normal substitute gameplay. Hey, so it means after this, we saw Bronze has a third antagonist, so it means that Bronze will have a major role in the substitute gameplay because we saw him only in restricted room as a statue and something that we need to move him away from the elevator. So it means that we will see also Bronze in the substitute and more toys in there. So it means the substitute has and more toys. We will see that it will be big dark gameplay or the biggest gameplay. We don't know what. So we had to wait and see if the substitute will come and trap to see what will happen. So it means that chapter 3 will have something to do with a bigger body's initiative than story titled it is something to do with an orphan because for the breaker it tells everything about an orphan because this is why on this teaser trailer that Eric are doing said about the breaker was telling to all the orphans and all the parents to send the kids in the breaker because he wants the breaker to make some inspiration, joy, and make all the kids smile. So that's why that bigger parties in stuff is an the dark story for the subject 3. So it means that it will tell everything about it between with an bigger parties in stuff and the breaker because both of them is something to do with an orphan.
That is why it is with enormous pleasure that as the founder of Playtime Co. I announce Play.
So we saw the bronze head, so this is how we kill him, but we don't know how. I think it's something to do. Comment below what do you think that what is the way that we need to kill Braun just to chop his head. So that is a hint of the death that we need to kill, so we don't know what. So comment below what do you think that how we need to kill Braun.
Our very own on-site orphanage. A child should never be left unloved, never without a hand to hold when they see a monster in their closet. May Play Care bring joy, inspiration, and smiles to every child who enters these doors.
Okay, so in this video, I just find this one from the chapter 1, like I said before, that because the first trailer is done, so it says the breaker may breaker bring joy and inspiration to every child's smiles on who enters these doors. It means that orphan from the toys that who were experiment and has a little name from the subject name that the scientists will use the smoke on them to make them sleep in the breaker. So it means the which orphan what Elliot Ludwig said that because Elliot Ludwig's daughter is Sarah Kreiber, That's why it has an interview in the chapter 1 right before he did an announcement for the Breaker will come on this year. And so he was telling to not only orphan, not he was telling to an orphan who was before who turned into a toy. So this is why on chapter 2 it says that the Elite Radwing hasn't finished his project. So this is why his plan is to use an every orphan right before turning to a toy. So use them just to introduce to them in a factory and start to have an interview with them for them chapter 3 because his plan is to bring them in there, and the chapter 3 will start to have to be announced that we will play as a gameplay. So here it says that the Poppy, she has something to say about with the same experience and someone that can provide skills. So I will tell you about this. So in this video I have a theory that I solved it is this interview, the interviewer man, he is the scientist known as Rich because he is the one who was using all orphans to turn to a toy. So from there, this kind of interview was now done for every orphan who turned into a toy already, except one is Poppy, because Poppy was telling about herself that playing with toys is so massacre, or maybe because it has a spell on them. I don't know what is it. So here, because maybe Rich has changed his voice because he has so aggressive voice from the past. He is asleep for the chapter 1 and chapter 2 with his anger, and now here is different because he has a different voice. So maybe this is a new voice by him. So in here, Poppy says about any same experience and playing with toys. So massacre, I think she was talking about on chapter 3, because in here she was saying that she wants to be back as a kid because she wants to be part of an orphan and she wants to be part of the bigger body's initiative. Have because they were using Poppy to experiment her in her to lab, and then after because from the chapter 1 ending or chapter 2 plot that we saw a box, so it says toys. This is why maybe this is where she was playing with toys that she was happy with. So now we will hear about this kind of video and we will talk about it.
So, Stella, what made you want to work at the Playtime Co-Factory?
Playing with toys when I was young was so magical. I could go straight from my bedroom floor to anywhere in the world. It was such a great feeling. And being able to work at a toy factory, somewhere that can provide kids with the
Okay, so here, sorry.
same experience.
Okay, so here, you said something toy is something that can provide kids with the same experience. It means that first of all, someone can provide kids. There's no other than the breaker with after that she wants the like to have kids with the same experience in the breaker. That means the same experience has what the her father Elliot Ludwig said in a teaser trailer, that to make breaker bring joy and inspiration and more. Or this is why there is no where when she said someone can provide kids with the same experience like her father, because they are the same connected. That makes sense. Maybe Bobby was on experimented right before the toys with, and because on Bobby's commercial, not before we start a game, it was introduced herself from her father uh, right before using more toys to, using orphan to make into them a toy. So, uh, so in this video, because that we said that someone can provide kids with the same experience, that means that the puppy, it was following her father Elliot Ludwig's plan for the chapter 3 for all orphan, that because for someone can provide kids with the same experience, like it means like to bring kids smiles, stuff like that. That's what it says on chapter 3 teaser, because there's nowhere her can provide kids except in breaker.
Experience? That's a pretty great feeling too. Sometimes though, I really wish I could go back. To being a kid, I mean. And it's weird, because adults are just kids, but older. I don't think anyone ever really feels like an adult, but your body just gets older and older, and then you die. Poof! Human bodies just can't stay young forever. There's things though, like some trees that can stay alive even while being way older than a person. I mean, the oldest people to ever live are still younger than those. So I guess everyone is always young relative to something. Right?
Okay, so there's my post video that you already seen and heard what I said already with my explanation and my theory. It was solved, and it is 100% true, because this is how Poppy says about that she wishes to be a kid, and someone can provide kids. There's nowhere except in Breaker, that on chapter 3 teaser trailer that says by her father that the Breaker joy, inspiration, and Richard smiles who enter the stores. That means then Poppy will have a major appearance in chapter 3, and her father starting to, it makes sense because because this kind of video, it was in, it's not in chapter 2, it is in chapter 1, because it was the area where we see the poster called on fostering adoption. This is the first poster for chapter 3, and this is 100% true. That makes sense, because this is where we start to face Huggy Wuggy there. It means that Huggy Wuggy, Mummy Longlegs, and Poppy were gonna be in a playcare, because Poppy was telling to the player on a newest version about the breaker, and it means that she wants to set things right by using the player to defeat the prototype, because the prototype wants to stop the bigger bodies in his stuff. And I think it must be of something, but aren't gonna make this kind of this discussion with solving it. So this means Poppy were gonna be in chapter 3 because the prototype cuts her off when after you said what and what the. It means Poppy and Poppy, Huggy Wuggy and Mommy Long Legs, even Boo will be in chapter 3. It means also the prototype will be in chapter 3, but I don't know, but he's not gonna be appear in chapter 3, but there's a toy named Jack in a Box. He will reveal where is the prototype hidden, because on the chapter 2 it says that he is loose, is an emergency lockdown. Maybe he escaped from chapter 2 to chapter 3. Comment below to think I was right. And it means that the Poppy and the prototype will have face to face in the chapter 3. It's gonna be a biggest dark story. So the darkest story it will called the Peculiar Police Initiative. This is a name of a story for the chapter 3. Like I said, because this Underbreaker is something to do with an orphan. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below if you want more kind of video. And this is my first theory. It is soft, is 100% true. I'll see you guys on another video.